He married her when she was 25 years younger than him. Everyone told him she married him for his money and fortune. She thought she would inherit millions of dollars after his death. But when his will was announced, you will be shocked by what he wrote in it. There was an old man named Marcel. Marcel was an ascetic man. He was very rich and known for his big fortune. But he did not care about wealth or money. He lived in a French village on the border and owned all its lands. He lived in a wooden hut on a mountain that had no electricity. Marcel had a simple daily routine. He woke up early with the sun and worked in his small garden, growing vegetables and herbs. Then he spent time thinking and praying quietly. In the afternoons, he walked to the nearby village with a bag of fresh vegetables and homemade bread, which he gave to the poor, even though he was rich. Marcel was known for giving a lot of his money to people who needed it, but he always did it secretly. He believed that true wealth was in the spirit, not in money or things. People in his neighborhood respected him for his kindness and humility. He also never benefited from many lands that he owned alone. He built houses on those lands for the poor people of the village to live on. He didn't take money from these poor people and made them live for free. He was very popular among the villagers and everyone adored him. But one day, everything changed because of a mysterious woman who came from Paris. Her name was Sandrine. She was elegant and sophisticated, with a confident air about her. Sandrine came to talk to Marcel about an important matter that would change his life forever. Sandrine told Marcel that his lands, which he had almost forgotten about, had become worth millions of dollars. A big company wanted to buy them to build a global tourist resort. Marcel was surprised, as he had never paid much attention to his land or its value. Sandrine explained that she was a broker, and her job was to help people like Marcel sell their valuable properties. She had connections with the big company that wanted to buy his land. She promised to handle all the details and make the sale smooth and easy. Of course, she would take a percentage of the sale price as her fee. Marcel listened quietly as Sandrine spoke. He was not interested in money or luxury, but the idea of his land being used for something big made him think. Sandrine showed him documents and maps, explaining how the company planned to transform his simple land into a bustling resort that would attract tourists from all over the world. She described the hotels, restaurants, and attractions that would be built, painting a picture of a vibrant and lively place. Marcel could see the passion in her eyes as she talked about the project, but Marcel refused to sell his land. He told Sandrine that there were poor people living there, and it was impossible for him to expel them onto the streets for a tourist resort project. Sandrine was very angry, but she had a cunning alternative plan. She decided to use her beauty and femininity to make Marcel fall in love with her. Marcel had been a single man for decades and had never married. Sandrine's charm and attention were something new and intoxicating for him. Slowly but surely, she succeeded in making Marcel fall deeply in love with her. Her plan worked, and despite their 25-year age difference, Marcel married Sandrine. The villagers were shocked and suspicious. They accused Sandrine of not loving Marcel at all and of wanting to plunder his wealth. They whispered behind her back and warned Marcel that she had ulterior motives. But Sandrine defended herself, claiming that she loved Marcel for his attractive personality, not for his money. Despite the rumors and accusations, Sandrine played her role perfectly. She appeared devoted and caring, always by Marcel's side. Of course, Sandrine was lying about loving Marcel. In truth, she hated her husband and often told her friends that he was an ugly man who lived as if he were in the Middle Ages. She refused to live with him in his modest home and continued to travel to Paris, visiting Marcel only once a month. The marriage lasted only 15 months and ended in disaster. One day, Marcel was involved in a car accident when his vehicle fell off a mountain road. Strangely, the driver of the car was Sandrine's private chauffeur. Marcel died instantly in the crash. The villagers were heartbroken, as Marcel had been a kind and generous man. Sandrine, however, was pleased, knowing she would inherit all his wealth. She coldly informed the poor peasants living on Marcel's land that they needed to find new homes, as she planned to evict them once the will was announced. Sandrine had no idea that she was about to face the biggest shock of her life. When Marcel's will was read, it revealed a surprising twist. He had left all his wealth to his daughter, Ellen. No one in the village knew about Ellen because Marcel had kept her well protected in another village. Ellen was a beautiful young woman, but was physically handicapped. Marcel's will also stipulated that the poor villagers would not be evicted. He had given ownership of their homes to them. In the final lines of his will, Marcel explicitly stated, "I command that not a single penny be given to my wife." Sandrine was furious and immediately filed a lawsuit, claiming the will was forged and that Marcel had been tricked into giving away his fortune. She argued that Marcel had been mentally unstable and that the villagers had conspired against her. The legal battle dragged on for 5 long years. Finally, the judge issued a ruling. The will was valid, and Sandrine would not receive a single penny of Marcel's wealth. The villagers rejoiced at the justice served, and Ellen continued her father's legacy of kindness and generosity. Marcel's legacy lived on through his daughter Ellen and the villagers he had cared so much about. His final act of love and generosity ensured that the people he valued would be protected, and that Sandrine's greed would go unrewarded. Moral of the story? As Seneca said, "Virtue is nothing else than the right reason." This means that being good and doing the right thing is simply following clear and honest thinking. When we live our lives with honesty, courage, and fairness, we are living in line with this right reason. Living virtuously brings us peace and happiness. When we make good choices, we feel good inside and build strong relationships with others. This inner peace and strong sense of self are the true rewards of living a good life. Good people find their reward in the peace and happiness that comes from living a good life. Their actions, guided by honesty, courage, and fairness, help them feel connected to the world around them. This connection brings a sense of calm and strength, helping them handle life's challenges with confidence. The joy they feel from being good is a reward by itself, more valuable than any material wealth. On the other hand, those who lie and deceive others may seem successful for a while. However, they live in constant fear of being found out. Their dishonesty causes them inner stress and unhappiness, which is a punishment on its own. This inner turmoil eventually leads to their downfall. The world has a way of making sure that justice is served, even if it is not obvious right away. Good people, like careful gardeners, nurture their good qualities and build a life that flourishes over time. This garden of their character produces lasting happiness and clear conscience, while those who lie and cheat plant seeds of chaos and disorder. Their garden, which might look good at first, eventually becomes overrun with weeds and fails to provide true satisfaction. This belief in a just world offers hope and guidance. It assures us that living a good life is not only the right thing to do, but also the most rewarding. Good people build a foundation of lasting happiness and inner peace. Meanwhile, those who cheat and lie to others will face the results of their bad actions, leading to their eventual punishment.